everyone, this is Ebony Love, and I thought I'd get on my handheld today and give you a mini tour of my studio, the room, and the AccuQuilt Studio die cutter. The area that I'm showing you right now is where I have my studio, the die cutter, stored. It is on a converted dining room table that I got from Walmart. And the table itself is about 2 feet by 4 feet, and it is sandwiched between two large cabinets. So I'll kind of scroll over here so you can see one cabinet on that side and the other cabinet on this side. The table itself is positioned on bed risers to give me some additional space underneath. A lot of people would store their AccuQuilt dies underneath the table, but I actually use it for storage of handbag supplies. For the dies themselves, typically what I'll do, and I'll go in just a little bit closer, is I will sometimes store dies in the studio itself if I'm working on a project. So on one side I have the super long giant die, and then on the other side I have just the giant die. So you can see the difference in space here. This is about 6 feet of width that I have in this little nook, and this is really perfect for me getting the dies in and out. And then on this side you can just see I have long tubes of fabric when I go crazy in the decorator department at my local upholstery store. In this cabinet, this is my batting cabinet, but the bottom shelf I have relegated to studio dies. The way that I've positioned this, and I'm just going to squat down here a little bit, bear with me. I have the giant dies and the super long dies, and they fit perfectly on the bottom shelf. Now, I put these on the bottom shelf purposely because these are very heavy dies, and if you try to put too many of them on an upper shelf, especially if you have a particle board shelving unit like I do, you might find that you'll crack a shelf. I didn't crack a shelf, but I learned very quickly that the dies need to be on the bottom shelf. So on one side I have the giant dies, and on the other side I have the super long dies, the strip cutters, and this is I have them with the labels facing either out or up so I can read them easily, and they're standing on end like books so I can flip through them. You never want to stack these dies on top of one another because you could harm the foam by compressing it. You could also ruin the blades of your dies by getting them bent. So you never want to stack the dies. So here we go. So you can see at the very bottom there the storage for 30 dies. Then I have two other cases for the jumbo dies. And then if I move up top, here are some additional dies that I ran out of space for in their cabinet. So again, they're standing on edge like books. Here's another case for the small dies, and then the long dies are stacked here. So you can see these AccuQuilt cabinets are they are stackable. You can configure them the way that you want to, and when I run out of space here, what I probably will do is take a different wall and kind of reconfigure my studio. But I wanted to also show you my Go, because that's here too, so I kind of have a little AccuQuilt corner of my studio. And so down here at the bottom you can see my Go unit. So this is just a standard 2-shelf bookcase, and on the left you can see the Go dies, and on the right you can see the Go kind of folded up there. And then as I move up top here, I have some containers where I actually store die cuts. So if I zoomed in here a little bit, you can see that I've got circles and tumblers and Drunkard's Path, Dresden fans, windmills. Oh, those aren't AccuQuilt die cuts. That's an idea that I have for a die that I've been playing with. There's charms, and I think I've got some more tumblers up there too. So you can see I've amassed quite a collection of AccuQuilt products, and it's sort of starting to take over my studio now. The studio, the room, not the studio, the cutter. We love our studio cutter here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little mini tour of my studio, the room, and enjoy my studio cutter.